Great. It ain't over. We just came in from Nashville. What's up? We just came in from Nashville, Tennessee. So we got about 20 people online, it looks like, and people all over the country. So 90-day burn. If you said, I want to get in the best shape of my life, and you went down to the trainer's office, and the trainer said to you, Jennifer, I'm going to need you to come in 5 days a week for the next year every morning at 5:30. What would you say? Lewis, like whatever it takes. Yeah. That's a pretty big commitment, isn't it? But what if the trainer said to you, for the next 90 days, I need you to come in 2 days a week, right, at 5:30, and I can get you in better shape. You see how in a concentrated period of time that helps you? So for the last 10 years, I've been coaching businesses, all types of businesses, blue collar, white collar, you name it. And what I have found is at the end of the year, people's business typically goes down. Now, why do you think that is? What's the rationale? Because I hear a lot of things. I think most of those things are excuses. Okay? But why do you think that typically happens? Why do people show a downward trajectory at the end of the year? Jonathan, what do you think?
Loss of enthusiasm, maybe.
People get tired. If you have been pushing hard, right, and you have been really exerting a lot of force and a lot of energy, you get to the end of the year, man, and your little engine is tired. Okay? And I was with one of my good friends yesterday, and he always told me, he's like, Bert, you're going to do all this stuff. You're going to generate so much business, you're going to wake up one day and hate it. You're actually going to hate your business. You know what I told him? I ain't never going to hate my business. Never. But if you go out and do something for long enough, here's what I found. At the 10-year mark of your business is where two things I have found happen. Number one, you are ripe for a big breakthrough. Every stat in the world shows that 10,000 hours of practice is when somebody has a breakthrough. 10,000 hours of practice roughly relates to 10 years. Okay? So at 10 years, most people have a huge breakthrough. But guess what also simultaneously happens at 10 years? You get bored. You've been pushing that little machine, and now you're at a point that you're just bored. Bored of doing the same thing, bored of winning. Success can actually be incredibly boring. You get up and kick everybody's butt, and then you wake up tomorrow and do it again. It ain't, right? It can be boring. It's not that sexy sometimes. So for you, one reason I see people at the end of the year is they just get tired, man. They just get sick of doing what they used to do to get great. So I hear this a lot. I used to do that. I used to prospect. I used to devote 2 hours I used to do customer appreciation events. I used to work a top 25. I used to get on the phones. I used to go to events I didn't want to go to, right? But I quit doing all the things that made me great. It worked so well. I love this one. It worked so well, I quit doing it. I hear people say that to me sometimes. Coach, coaching works so well, man. I'm so busy I can't even come get coached anymore. And so these are things. So you think fatigue. What else? Blake, what do you think? Why do you think people peter out at the end of the year?
The football team sucks.
The football team sucks. Yeah. I was in a men's group last night, and we were talking about it in our men's group about, we're sitting around talking about how much people are fixated on Butch Jones and what's going to happen to Butch Jones. I'm like, look, there ain't nothing to be fixated on, man. He's going to get fired. It's just a matter of what day it's going to happen, okay? So there ain't nothing to sit around and talk about, okay? So you're right. Football season, right? Now we got something to do on Saturday. Now we got, right. So here's what I want to know. So I created this concept of this 90-day burn with anticipation that, you know what, I don't want to peter out at the end of the year. What I want to do is actually stimulate my own economy. And I think I can stimulate my own economy by creating a lot of action. Irrespective of what the external economy is doing, I actually think I can create my own economy by doing that. So then I come up with this concept, but what if we did a 90-day burn? Okay, what if we actually did a 90-day burn at the end of the year, which is where we're pushing and exerting force and energy, and then I started creating categories. Well, as soon as I created all those categories, guess what people told me? God, Lord, I can't do all that stuff. So guess what they don't do instead, Mickey? They don't do anything. And I said, if you'll just do a portion of what I'm showing you, just a portion of what I'm doing, you'll exert force, okay? But to do the 90-day burn, guess what you gotta understand? You gotta understand the categories we're teaching. And I have found that when I'm teaching selling system and follow-up, a lot of people do not understand the categories I'm talking about because they've not been in Monster Producer. Now, so let me ask you this question. Do you believe that selling is a game of probability, yes or no? Which means we can drive up the probability of selling something, or we can drive down the probability of selling something by the calculated actions that we take, okay? So when we're looking at this 90-day burn, okay, when we're looking at this concept of this 90-day burn, we're looking at it from this perspective. The 90-day burn is a concentrated period of time, last 3 months of the year, okay? It is time to get a good kick in the pants. It is time to say, look, I'm buckling down, not only to finish the year strong, but to build momentum going into next year. You know what I see most people do? They don't even think about next year until next year. Then, guess when they really kick open their initiatives? About March. So every major initiative I've ever helped a company drive, we started in October. And we geared everything up in November and December. And when it was January 1, we came out of the gates on January 1 with the initiative. We didn't waste 3 months, and that's what companies will do, guys. Here's what they'll do. They'll start talking about what they're going to do in January. Then they'll have meetings about it through February, and then they actually won't roll it out, and they'll say, this is our first quarter rollout. And I'm like, you wasted 90 days, man. Start in October and push through, and then bring new things to the market. So that's what we're trying to do here. Now, these are the categories of a 90-day burn. And what I'm going to show you is that if you're new to Monster Producer, you're like, what are all these categories? And that's one reason I wanted to do these sessions, okay? So we are going to be teaching you in Monster Producer some key things, okay? Number one, we're going to be teaching you how to explain your services. We call that the EOS, explanation of services. We believe this is critical because it don't matter how many people you talk to. If you don't have anything to say that's compelling, you've really wasted that moment. And I do believe you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. I remember when I partnered with Carrie Ann Sear, who's in Monster Producer, I went over and took a meeting with her, and it was one of the worst meetings I have ever had in my life. My EOS wasn't tight. She's this busy mortgage originator. She's doing $100 million of production. She's just pushing. And I come in and kind of did a pitiful job of pitching my services, right? And I called her back and I said, can I do that again? Because it was pitiful what I said. And I don't think I really articulated my value or how I can help you. And thankfully, she gave me a second shot. And I went back in the second time, and I gave my EOS, and we partnered, and I've been her coach ever since. But we're going to teach you this. We're not going to talk about it a lot today because it's a big concept. If you're in your first 90 days of Monster, you're going to have a special class on EOS, okay? But let's talk about categories. When you come into the week, I want you to think of it like this. I'm going to take calculated action. So I'm going to move from a defensive posture to an offensive posture. And there's 4 things I'm going to do every day. Okay? Number 1, I'm going to come in, and every day I come into the day, I'm going to have what's called a hit list. And the hit list, I want you to write out, equals new money. And every day you come to your office, you're going to come into the day, and you're going to come into it with a hit list. Now, when did you create that hit list, by the way? Okay, you could create it Sunday. Okay, so if you notice, this is partly about how to use this planner. When you're looking at the Monster Producer Planner, this is not, by the way, an ornament for you to sit on your desk and look at it and go, I'm a Monster Producer, okay? This is actually a tool that you're supposed to be using. That's why I created it. So if you notice, I mental map on Sunday. That's why I put this in here. Mental mapping is pictures. Your brain remembers in pictures. So on Sunday, I sit down and I map out my big projects. And my big projects may mean I'm going to work on my website on this. I've got this big promotion going on. I've got to coach one of my team members, whatever. And I put it in pictures. This is like a big view like this. It's not a granular view like what I'm going to do every day. It's like, these are the 3 or 4 big projects I got this week. You follow me? And I always do it on Sunday. Okay? Now, your planner is set up where you have a vision board. I used to have a physical vision board, which was a big white board that sat right in front of my desk, and some people still want these. And it gives you the opportunity to put your categories in there. Like, these are my top hit list people. Okay? So hit list represents new money. So when I come into the week, replace this word hit list with who can I help this week? Who can I help? Where could those people come from, by the way? Current clients. And the hottest time to ask for a referral out of your current clients is the first 90 days. If you live with somebody long enough, you will find something you don't like about them. You with me? Okay? So the hottest point of being on fire for somebody is in the beginning. Matter of fact, if we acted in the end like we did in the beginning, there'd never be an end. Isn't that good? Philip, you like that? If we acted in the end of a relationship like we did in the beginning, there'd never be an end. Because in the beginning, we're fresh, we're hot, we're on fire for each other. That's the passion. That's the honeymoon stage. But I'm telling you, I don't care how much your clients love you, if they stay with you long enough, they'll find something they don't like about you. Yes? So in the beginning is when you need to be asking for the referrals. So I'm telling my sales team, Andy, what have I been telling you all last week about sales? Who do you need to be going to for referrals right now? And which time period? In the first 90 days. So if Blake Finney just got in, you ought to be hitting him right now for referrals. If Andy goes back to him too, now, there's a period of people who will stay with you for a period of time, and then they'll move on to something else. So you got to get them when they're hot. Then there's a period of people who will fight through that and commit to you for long periods of time, and they'll send you referrals, but what's happened? Y'all have gotten so comfortable with each other, they quit thinking about referring you, so you got to go back to them and ask them, hey, will you refer me to somebody? Who else do I need to be helping? So what I did is I took 3 copies of my book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. I took it to my 25 biggest relationships, and I said, take these 3 books and invite 3 people to Monster Producer, who are people you believe are looking for a good coach. What if I generate 75 referrals out of that? Right? Because they're doing the selling for me. And then I go back to them. Like I was with Chris Garrett this morning, and I'm like, Chris, have you invited somebody to Monster? Have you given those 3 books out? He's like, yes, I have. I've given a book to this person. Are you bringing them with you to Monster next month? So I'm constantly pushing my current people to bring new people to me because they're going to do the best job selling, right? So your hit list could say, this week, I'm going to go back to 3 of my current clients, and I'm going to ask for referrals in the first 90 days out of these 3 people. That's fine. So where else could my hit list come from? Could it come from past clients? Yes, but if you don't do a good job with your past clients, you can't call a past client 10 years down the road and say, man, I'm sorry, I really neglected you for the last 10 years. Now will you bring me a referral, please? Right? I'm talking about past clients is this. Here's a stat. Some of y'all in real estate, probably insurance too, maybe other attorneys. Listen, 98% of people never call a customer back once they do the transaction. Less than 9% of people remember their salesperson's name after the transaction's over. So what do you think the likelihood of referring is? Right? So if I sign them up, I want to engage with them. I want to find reason to engage. My third place my hit list can come from is just literally new money, which means I just go out into the world, okay? You know what I was doing on the way back from Nashville today? I was looking on my Facebook of people that consistently like my stuff, and I'm going in there and Facebook messaging them, going, if I got you a seat in Monster next month, would you come? And people are like, yes, I'd be there. How hard was that? That's hit list, right? That's just new money. So my goal is not to sell them. I'm not going to try to sell them on Facebook into Monster Producer. What am I going to do? Push them to something. Your version is you're pushing them to something. Come to this event, right? Spend some time with me up here. Hey, go to the football game with me on Saturday. Come be around this. You're constantly just pushing people to something. So my goal is just, hey, come and experience this. Come and experience this, because you can't buy it till you experience it, right or wrong. Okay? My 4th hit list comes from, and this is a big one that I don't want you to miss, strategic partners. And I'm big on this one. Because there's a tremendous amount of leverage that can take place with strategic partners. Okay? So I coached a real estate agent in Clemson, South Carolina, who's doing 150 deals a year. And I would always ask him, who's on your hit list this week? And he would go to all the companies, local companies, and get a meeting with the HR director to sell the HR director on relocation. He'd say, now look, I know you're a big company. I know you got people relocating into town all the time. I would love to be the preferred real estate agent representing you when you have people. And he won a lot of them over. So some new person come into town, I need a good agent. He'd say, Les Walden is our preferred agent. They'd go to Les Walden. He'd pick up, a lot of deals a year. So his hit list was HR directors. So your hit list may be other business owners that you're not working right now, or they're not referring you for some reason. You're not spending, I call them feeder systems. They're like my little feeder systems. Okay? Now, so if you ever tell me in Monster Producer that you don't have somebody to put on your hit list, I will take you outside and run you around the parking lot, okay? Because that is a bold-faced lie. There is 7.5 billion people on planet Earth. If you can't find somebody to call on, then that's on you. Okay? Then you're going to say, well, what do I say to them? What am I supposed to say to them? Okay? They're a human being. Talk to them. Okay? So when we teach a script, an 8-point script on how to call out. Okay? So if you want that script, just let me know or I'll walk you through it. But we'll tell you exactly what to say. Okay? Now, so every week I come in my hit list. So notice right here what I said. I'm calling 5 people to potential new clients every single day. I'm using the 8-point script. That's my hit list. So when I come in and I'm mapping my days out in this planner, okay, and I'm putting my planner together every night before I go to bed. Here's an example. My hit list is already predetermined. Everybody see that? So when I come into the day, I sit down every night with my daughter. She has a notebook and I have a notebook. And we're planning our day out for tomorrow. She's 5 years old, okay? So I say, I ask her what her goals are for tomorrow, and she tells me what her goals are. Okay, and I tell people, wouldn't it be great to be my kid? We're reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, not Elmo at our house. And so, she says, here's my 3 goals for tomorrow day. Well, the planner's got that. What are my daily goals? So every night, I write out my goals for the next day. Okay, every night I'm writing out my goals. Monster quote, I got a monster quote of the day. Then I got my hit list, right? So what am I doing? Every night I'm already deciding. So here's the problem. If you come into the day without a hit list, you know what you're doing? You're going to listen to your feelings. Well, I don't feel like calling anybody this morning. I don't feel like prospecting. I don't feel like doing this. I've already decided in a non-emotional state who I'm calling on tomorrow. So when I come into the day, I know exactly who I'm calling on. Hit list, okay? And the script is pretty simple to me. Hey, this is Coach Burt. I'm calling from Michael Burt Enterprises. Is this a good time to talk? Now, we have found out that 90% of people say, yes, it is a good time. If it's not, would this afternoon be better or tomorrow morning? Okay? Let me tell you the purpose of my phone call. You indicated interest, or I saw you on Facebook, or Tommy Santel told me to call you, or Phil Griffin told me to call you, or whatever the case may be, right? I just got to ask you a few questions so I can really help you. And I ask key questions, 1, 2, 3. And then I frame. At our company, we believe everybody needs a good coach in life. We believe a good coach can, right? And then I say, if this sounds good to you and you're interested, like it sounds like you are, then would you like to move to the next round? I'd just like you to be my guest at my next class. See how I'm using that script? Now, no matter how many phone calls I make, I'm following that script. Everybody follow me? And if you listen to our guys make phone calls, they should be following that script. Outbound phone calls, okay? So that's my hit list. So every day I come in, and during this 90-day burn, I got 5 of those. Every day. So what questions do you have about the hit list? How many of y'all are actively working a hit list every day? 3 to 5 people, okay? Every day. And if you got multiple team members, they need to have their own hit list. Everybody needs to be working a hit list every day. So during this 90-day burn, you commit. I'm making 5 of these a day. You say, I can't do 5 because I'm too busy. Listen, the purpose of the business is to create customers. So there's a lot of things you can do today and tell me you're busy, but you ain't doing what you should be doing, which is create new business. Okay? We call out from 9 to 11 every morning. And I have found, I don't know how you feel about this, but I have found that if we set a time that's dedicated for calling out, it helps us. So, because if you say, well, just during the day when I feel like it, I'm going to make these outbound calls. Well, what happens if you don't feel like it? So what I say is every day from 9 to 11, our guys need to be making outbound phone calls. If I'm in the office, I'm making outbound phone calls. If I'm speaking, then maybe I'm doing it from 1 to 3. But every day I'm dedicated time to exerting force out into the market and pushing people to go create new business. What do you think we find when we talk on the phone? We find a lot of problems that we can solve. Like I went to sell you this, but while I'm talking to you, I also sold you this. And I asked, do you have a team? Well, wouldn't you like to get your team trained as well versus just you? Because you really don't want to be growing by yourself without your team growing, right? Then now we've got something that's for your team. You follow me here? And so what we're doing is we're just creating that. Any question on the hit list? Hit list is just people we can. So let's be clear about what a lead is. A lead is not you sitting behind your desk waiting on somebody to hand you something. For the love of God, don't drive me crazy here. I hear people like, but they don't have any leads. They don't give me any leads. I don't know I don't have anybody to call on. A lead is a created opportunity. You follow me here? It's not something somebody gives you. Now, if somebody gives you a lead, consider it a blessing. You follow me? Some of you buy leads. I'm okay with that, but here's what I find. People buy leads, don't even work them. You're spending $1,000 a month and you ain't even working. I've coached mortgage originators who have 6,000 leads that nobody's even called. And I'm like, so what do they tell me? Those are bad leads. Why are you spending $1,000 a month on them then? Right? Why are you spending $1,000 a month on a bad lead? So learn to ask without consideration. Consideration means I'm coming into every lead. Okay, the largest speaking engagement I ever signed, guys. I signed from a guy from South Africa I thought was a complete hoax. He said he met me in Riviera Maya, Mexico 4 years ago at an event. And I was like, I didn't meet that dude. I know I didn't meet that dude. He sent us a picture of me hugging him like this. Right? He's like, I met you in Mexico, okay? We want to book you for this event. And he's from South Africa, and he flew in here from Austin, Texas. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. I would have thought it was the most bogus lead in the world. And he booked me to speak at this big event in Orlando. I mean, so don't ever consider anything. All right, now, so we've talked about our 5 current clients. So let's just put this in a bucket here. I'm calling on current clients. How many people are guilty right now of signing up somebody in the last 90 days? They're on fire. It's a good relationship, and you have not gone back to them and asked them for some new business. How many people are guilty of that? Okay, this is when they love you. This is when they love you right now. So don't waste anything. You ought to be going to them, who else do we need to be helping? I love working with you. Who else do I need to be helping? So what's the line? Tiffany, I believe like gravitates toward like. I believe association breeds assimilation. If I love working with you as much as I do, I guarantee you I will love working with your friends. And I start looking at partnerships. It's only a matter of time before we get Paul Parkinson in here. And then whoever other your friends are, right? It's just a matter of time. We're going to get them. It's just a matter of time before we get them. So here's the deal, because you're going to go tell your friends, and they're going to tell your friends, and we're going to work that circle, right? And so I was joking with Eric the other day, and I said, did you go see Tommy Santel? And he said, yeah. And I said, did he tell you about Paul Parkinson? He said, well, yeah. I said, did you get his cell phone number from him? Eric's like, no. And you know what I said? I did. I said, so would you like that commission, or would you like for me to take it? Because I had enough fortitude to ask Tommy for Paul's number. You didn't ask him for the number. So you want me to keep the commission, or would you like the commission? See, you got to think like a cheetah. So I'm going to ask you, Lewis, who else do I need to be talking to? And I'm not just going to leave it up to him. Can I get their number, Lewis? The best line I ever heard one night for somebody to get my cell phone number was Dr. Stephen Hotze in Houston, Texas, who is a master networker. And at dinner, he said, Coach, can I go ahead and get your cell phone and your address just in case I want to send you a birthday card or Christmas card? And he did. He got every bit of my information. I mean, it was good. It was slick. It was a slick way to get it. And I gave it to him, right? So current clients, if you're not asking, ask in the first 30 to 60 days. So I'm calling on 5 of those a day. If I don't get to 5, I don't run laps against myself. I don't do push-ups. I don't get myself in the doghouse. I just say, look, man, I didn't get to it today, okay? Maybe I got to 3. Maybe I got to 4. But I'm coming in thinking 5. Now, this is a big one. I got a farm club, and I want to delineate between what these things mean. A farm club is different than a hit list. Hit list represents new people, new money. The farm club represents people who have indicated interest in your services, but they have not taken action. Okay? So they're in the pipeline. They have told you somewhere along the way they are very interested in your services. But for some reason they're stalling on you. Now, if you paid attention in Monster Producer this month, why are they stalling? Okay, not yet. It's not objection. Yeah, so what's happening is this right here. They're afraid of something. Until you find out what they're afraid of, they're not going to move. And you got to really break down on this, right? You got to really break this down. Fear is an emotion. Anytime you see the word emotion, think of feeling. A feeling can always be influenced. Okay? So you meet with me. I grant you the meeting. You get the meeting. Let's take the sign company, for example. I was coaching another sign company this morning, like a printing company. Not necessarily sign, it's more printing. And let's say that I'm doing business with them. Let's say you guys come in and want to take a meeting with me, right? And I grant you the meeting. You make your pitch. Let's say that I believe that you're actually a better company than them. But I still got a little bit of fear. What's my fear? What could be one of my fears? The one nobody ever talks about. How do I go break up with them? See, you're telling me that you're better, but I got a fear of looking at them eyeball to eyeball and telling them I don't need them anymore because I like them. And in the South, we really like people and they like us. So it's like you're telling me that your insurance is better than their insurance, but now I got to go to my insurance guy and tell him he's not good enough for me anymore. And he's been with me, right, this whole time. I could actually believe that you're a lot better than them. But now I got a fear of confrontation. So here's what you need to say. I understand. So what did we teach you this month in Monster? When somebody objects, objection is opposition of thought. That's all it is. It's disagreement of thought. Okay? You're an attorney. You know this better than anybody, right? Because what attorneys do is they get in there and they do what? They influence emotions. They influence feelings. And the ones that are better at influencing feelings typically can win. That's what a salesperson is doing. So if I wanted to ask Blake to break up with the company he's with, he said, man, how do I go tell this guy? I would go through my objection formula. Listen, I understand. I know it can be tough breaking up with a vendor you've been using for years, right? Okay, so that's his objection. Is there any other reason, Blake? Now, this is the isolation question. Is there any other reason outside of you feeling loyalty to them that would keep you from moving forward? Why would I ask you that question? Brian Chalmers, why would I ask him that question?
Get them thinking about it.
Get them thinking about it? What am I really trying to figure out? Is that the real objection? Because what we do in the South is we lie. We're liars. You know why? Because we don't want to hurt your feelings. Look, let me think about it. Let me talk to my wife about it. Let me sleep on it. Those are lies. Real problem is I don't want to break up with the person I'm with because I really like them. So,
One other thing I kind of do because I get that all the time. Well, I've been here with so-and-so for so long. One thing I always add to it as well is that because you're that way, we want customers like you.
Yeah.
We respect that about you.
Yep.
And you're the reason that that's one of the reasons we want to do business with you.
that's right.
And so I validate their feelings and what they're thinking like
Yep.
that.
So if they say I've been with somebody, first thing you need to do is agree with them. I understand. I believe in loyalty myself.
Because you're very loyal.
Yeah.
You're the type of customer we want to do business with
Yeah.
us.
So, and then ask this isolation question. Is there any other reason outside of your loyalty to them that would keep you from moving forward with me? No, that's really the only reason. Well, if I could show you how to extract yourself from this relationship with some dignity and respect, would you consider going forward with us if you think we're better? If you think we're better, right? Because that's really what I would want to know. Like, how do I go break up with them? Do I give them it's not you, it's me talk? Right? Okay? Because I want to know that. So the formula I'm trying to give you is when somebody's in your farm club, they're afraid of something. If they had seen enough to take action, they'd be moving forward. Okay? So they're uncertain. Look at the definition of uncertain. Ambivalence, vacillation, confusion. Let me throw another word in there, ignorance. And I don't mean that in a bad way. That means I'm ignorant to how you can even help me. You and I had this to talk. People don't even know how you can help them. So if they don't know how you can help them, why would they move forward with you? So you know how you overcome uncertainty? Feed them more information. Give it to them in a video. Give it to them in audio. Have your best customer call them. Whatever you got to do to get them to understand this is what we can do for you. But first you got to find the fear. I'm afraid of leaving who I'm with. I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. Okay? Now, when you see me talking about the farm club, Okay? How many people have a lot of people in their farm club right now, by the way? Okay? There's a lot of people that have indicated interest in your services, and they're stuck. They're stalling, and they're stalling because they're afraid. You have not done a good enough job of articulating. You know what I tell you? That ain't their fault, it's yours. If people are not moving forward with you, you need to take total ownership of that. When a person does not answer your phone calls, you need to take total, you need to say this, look, apparently something I'm doing is not working because I can't get your attention. Apparently something I'm doing is not connecting with you. Let me try it a different way. Because if I was connecting with you, you'd be calling me back. Take total ownership. That's that Jocko Willett concept, extreme ownership. Okay? Here's what I hear salespeople do. Well, I tried to call them, and I couldn't get them. Couldn't get their attention. I'm like, how many times did you try? Did you video them? Did you Facebook message them? Did you send them something? Did you have our best customer call them? Did you have another salesperson call them? How many different ways did you really try to get their attention? It's typically 1 or 2 times. And, oh, they wouldn't call you back. Okay? What did you say when you got them on the phone? So when I call people and I don't get their attention, I say, hey, it's not your fault you're not calling me back. It's my fault. I'm doing a very poor job of articulating our services. Okay? Now, I come into the day trying to go after 5 of my top 25 5 of my farm club during this 90-day burn. Now, here's my strategy. I'm going to go 7 touches with those people that are in my farm club. That's a statistical number. Okay? 80% of the time, it takes 7 touches to convert a prospect to a client. Okay? That's why I need you to keep coming back to me. Like I haven't seen enough to take action yet. If I had, I'd already told you yes. I need more. I need you to give me some more feedback. So give me an example of these touches, because people ask me all the time, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, give me an example of touches that I could use. Lewis, come on, big guy. I like that. Listen, I write a blog every week. Today I was going back to Remax people in Denver, and I said, man, see if y'all like this line, because I was in Colorado. I said, man, I'm still high from our time together with y'all. I hope they laugh on that one. I said, I'm still high from my time. I loved working with you. Okay? Okay? And here's what we covered. Bam, bam, bam. Matter of fact, I did a video on this called The 90-Day Burn. Click here and watch it. I'd love to be your coach. Let's talk. That's it. That's all I said. And I went back to all those people that I spoke to last week. Now, I'll use these videos that I create as follow-up tools. These blogs I write as follow-up tools. Hey, I know you said you're struggling with this. I did a video on this last week. Watch this. I don't care if they ever respond to me or not. That's a lot more valuable than just sending a text message. Everybody with me? So I create a lot of collateral over here, and I tell my sales team, use it. Use all this collateral we've created. For the love of goodness, we got a million things you could send people. Send them a video. Send them an audio. Send them right? So when I'm telling you go 7 touches, I want you to think of 2 touches. There is a linear touch, which is where I'm coming right at Tiffany, and I'm trying to sell her something. Have you seen enough to take action, Tiffany? And then there's a nonlinear touch, where I don't even say anything about selling or anything. I just reach out and touch her and say, hey, have you read this? I just worked with somebody just like you the other day. Here's a testimonial from them. I wrote this blog. I did this video. I call those nonlinear touches. Okay? Those are just soft touches. Because if you come at me the same way every time, right, it's like you're not being creative enough. I need you to be creative in how you follow up with me. Okay? How many people think that they're not going 7 touches? Yeah. If I indicate interest, what more do you want me to tell you? I'm interested in doing business with you. To me, somebody likes my stuff 4 or 5 times on Facebook, they're interested. So if somebody likes my stuff 4 or 5 times on Facebook, I'm going to reach out to them and go, hey, have you come and seen this live? I noticed you like a lot of my stuff. You're constantly commenting. I mean, what more do you want me? You're telling me you're interested in something. So it's my job to say, hey, let's go to the next round. So now, let's say I stopped right here. Let's say I come in every day and I call on 5 new people for new money. I call on 5 of my current clients just to touch base, and I work 5 of my farm club, and I'm working these 7 touch systems. Now I'm doing 15 things a day. Okay? 15 a day, 5 days a week is what? Was that 75? If I did 75 things a week, you think I would get some, you think it'd increase the probability to get business, yes or no? Yes. So what prohibits people from doing just these 3 things? What's the number one pushback I get, Andy? I'm just so busy. Gosh, dog, I'm just so busy.
Okay.
Is that true? Do you ride in a car from one place to another place? Do you have Bluetooth in your vehicle? Can you make phone calls while you're riding? You're not too busy. That's the excuse. What you really chose to do is listen to music versus make phone calls. What you really chose to do is goof around the office and talk to people for an hour and a half versus make phone calls or text message or follow up. What you really chose to do is take a 2-hour lunch, right, versus do some of these things. Now, there's a time and place for a 2-hour lunch, right? There's a time and place to sit at the coffee and talk. There's a time, but here's the deal. If you're telling me you want to grow your business, then you're going to have to get serious about growing your business. Does that make sense? Which means the excuses have got to go. That's why listen, I don't care. I want you guys, Andy and Bill and Eric, I want them calling out all day long. But I want to know, I want to go home at night and sleep and know that my guys, at least for 2 hours a day, are prospecting. A, that's what I'm telling you to do. And B, I want to know there's a lot of things we can do around here all day long besides do these things right here and say we're busy. Right? Okay? Now, this is part of the 90-day burn. Now, what if you can't do 5, do 3? I start off the day and try to get 5. Like if you notice on my planner, so I come into the day, 1, 2, 3, 4. On my hit list, 1, 2, 3, 4 in my farm club, right? So I had 8 people right there. I may not get to all 8, but it don't mean I didn't have them planned when I came into the day. What if I get to 4 of them? What if I get to 6? Is that 90% better than most people, yes or no? Yeah.
Do you put them on the next day?
I do. So let's say I go through and I pick up, so I just go out in the world and people tell me, hey, call so-and-so. Hey, so-and-so said they're looking for, I pick up people everywhere and I write them down. A woman this morning gave me a new one. Write it down. So let's say I don't get to her today. I just roll it right. So tonight I sit down, I look at it, and I just roll it right over to the next day. And I just keep this thing going. Now imagine me with a sales team and all of them are working the same system. And they got their own 15 people they're calling on. And we're multiplying that 75 number, 150, you see what I'm saying, 320. And now we're doing 400 or 500 things a week to get new business. There's no way we can't sell something. Wouldn't you agree? So part of the 90-day burn is committing this. Now, look at this one right here. 3 call-outs to my top 25. So my top 25 is I have sat down and decided that out of all of our customers and all of my relationships and all of my sphere of influence, that there are 25 incredibly valuable relationships in there. Okay? There are 25 incredibly valuable relationships. Now, here's a trick that I use. Okay? All right. Here's a trick that I use. I have all of our customers in a Google document. And Google documents are free, by the way. Okay? So if you're using a fancy CRM system that you're not using and you don't use, this is a much cheaper way to do this. So I keep them in my notes section of my phone, okay? And here's what I do. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. Because I want you to understand this top 25. All right, so in this Google document is every one of our customers. Okay, every single one of them. Okay? The ones that are green, I have identified as the largest referral sources out of every one of those people. So let's say we got 350 people in Monster Producer. I've gone through there and I've highlighted the people who I believe are most sold on me and have the highest capacity to refer me to other people. These 25 people get a lot of attention. They get a lot of things. They get a lot of private events. They get a lot of personal access. They get a lot, because I'm betting that these 25 people are going to send me 75 referrals a year. Okay? So let's get some, so just remember this, all relationships are not equal. Can you agree with that? If I could send you 10 referrals, am I an equal customer of yours as somebody who can only send you 1 or 2? Should I get more attention than those people? Right? What if I spend more money with you? What if I spend 10 times the amount of money with you than a regular customer? Should I get more attention?
I'll probably sleep with you.
Me. So here's my point. This is the way your business is set up. But see, you don't think of it like that. In your world, everybody gets the same treatment. There's nothing special for anybody. Okay? So here's what I'm telling you. Some relationships are not equal. So here's what I say. I'm going to identify those 25 people, and I'm going to put them in a special bucket over here. And I'm going, these people get VIP access to me. Okay? So when they call, they get it. Okay? Every week, I'm trying to touch 3 of these. I can't touch all 25 every week. See, I don't. This is where, if you've ever studied, and I'm going to use the Core for example. The Core is a coaching company we compete against. Rick Ruby, I think Rick Ruby's a genius. He's built a $40 million coaching company. But here's where he and I philosophically disagree. He believes that you have a database of 400 people, and you work that database of 400. So on Monday, you call this 10. On Tuesday, you call this 10. On Wednesday, you call this 10. I have been in other people's database. So here's what that looks like. Maybe once a quarter, I get a phone call from them. And it seems very canned. Like, well, how's your family? How's your daughter doing? How's this? I'm like, look, I've not heard from you in 90 days. We don't have a relationship with each other. You're not involved in my life. I'm not referring you. And although you can check off on the box that you called me today and asked me about my little girl, that ain't relationship to me. Relationship with me is where you and I are in the boat with each other, and we're talking on a consistent basis, and I'm helping you, and you're helping me, and we have a vested partnership, and we are both pushing each other's ball down the field together. It's not some check box to call. That's how I always felt when I was in that deal. So here's what I said. I'm going to carve it out to where there's 25 people, and I'm going to love on these 25 people like crazy. Okay? And I'm going to spend time with these 25 people like crazy because I'm banking on 25 people, 3 great referrals, and I'm going to get 75 new deals. I really believe you can make $1 million more a year out of 25 people. Right? But I can't call all 25 every week. So I strategically, and if you notice in the planner, a lot of times it says other. Other, that could be your top 25. So I put some of my top 25 right there that I was calling on that day. Okay? What do these 25 do? I want you to think multiply. So Dr. Holtze from Houston owns a wellness center. He's one of my top 25. And I go to Houston once a month, and I call his people, and I say, I'm coming to Houston. Who else do we need to be helping while we're in Houston? You know what he said? I'll host a private event at my house. You can speak at it. We'll give you all their phone numbers and email addresses. Right? That's what your top 25 people do for you. So he had this big elaborate dinner. I mean, I'm all elaborate, like maids and butlers and hors d'oeuvres and drinks. And then he brings them all together and says, this is my coach. And I get up, say, 10 or 15 minutes, and we mingle with all these people. We pick up leads, right? That's what a top 25 person does for you. Imagine 25 of those people, right? So what if you're sitting there going, man, I don't have 25. Most people don't. Most people have 5 or 3. But now that you understand this concept, now what are you thinking? Start building your top 25. So I've kind of made my top 25 so strong that I have people tell me they want to get in it. They're like, I'm going to get in your top 25. I'm like, it's tough to get in my top 25. But once you get in there, there's a lot of business to be gotten in there for you too. Right? It ain't just a win for me. When you're connecting with these other people, it's a high level of business. Okay? High level of business. For example, the other night, we went through a fundraising round for my New Greatness Factory. We raised $400,000 in 26 minutes the other night. You know who got first access to invest? People in my top 25. And I say, if you want in, It's a minimum of $100,000 to get in. Here's what equity stake you get in the deal. And the people who are closest to me who get first access. Now, what if I go build one in Chattanooga and Huntsville and Knoxville? Who gets in first? Right? So if we're trading, for all my financial advisors, it's insider trading if you have inside information, right? There ain't nothing illegal about opening things up to your friends who are closest to you. They got inside information, okay? They're getting to the deal first. You're late to the party sometimes if you're not in. So make it to where it's powerful. Like if I do one of these trips to Mexico or wherever, I may call one of my top 25 and say, you're going for free on me. Plane ticket, everything. You get to just go. Just be part of the deal. This is a very special club. I think if you said, where can I make the most money in the selling system? It's right here. Everybody with me? Any questions about this top 25? Start with 5, start with 3, but start rewarding these people. Sometimes all they want is a little bit more of your time and attention. Okay? So all they want is your time and attention, okay? So now, look at the activity I got in my last 90 days. I got 5 of these, I got 5 of these, I got 5 of these, I got 3 of these. So now I got 18 things to do. If I try to do it today, that's a lot. So I try to do it a little bit every day. So here's my rhythm. My rhythm is every day I'm calling on new people. Every day I'm trying to close people that have indicated interest. Every day I'm onboarding new people that have signed up. And every day I'm loving on my top 25. You see that rhythm? These are 4 actions I take every day throughout the course of a day. Okay? All right, let me stop there and ask questions. Take any questions. Jack, ask the question. How many people we have online? 20?
We have 27.
So there's 27 people online watching us right now. What questions? What would be the hardest part about working this?
I work predominantly with faith-based and nonprofit, and they're all on committees, and they're the slowest moving
Yep.
group of people.
Yep.
Love them. So my challenge is the farm club, because they don't make decisions very quickly, and I have to hit them with multiple kinds of follow-up, because the age range is so wide. So that's always been my challenge, because it's not one person that I'm
That's right.
talking to. It's 7, usually, or 10.
Yep. So in the farm club, it's just the velocity of the sale is a long time? Okay. Can you ask them, can we put them all together? Can I pitch to the whole group?
I do, but then they have, most of them, they're denominations, so they have a whole process that they have to go through.
Yeah.
So I lose momentum too, so I have to follow up with them, but we'll meet with them 1 month.
Yep.
And then they don't get to talk to somebody for 60 days and they forgot.
Yeah. Here's what I find, and that's a great point, and that's a real problem. When you're selling to committees, what I have found is you got to I spend a lot of time what I call bumping, nudging, and inviting, which means I spend a lot of time pushing people, influencing people, jabbing people, right? Like, hey, have you talked to that person? Hey, have you shared it with the committee yet? Hey, have you taken action on this? Hey, are we moving the ball down the field? Hey, can I come back in? A lot of times what I spend a lot of time doing is I'm trying to just keep, right? But without me exerting that force, it doesn't get done. But when you're selling to committee, that's a big problem with any committee. Okay? They get paralysis by analysis. They get stuck. So what do you got to do? What good is having influence if you don't use it, by the way? Yeah. What good is having influence if you don't use it? So can you influence feelings, yes or no? Yes. Okay? So I'm trying to get my pool guy to get my pool lights done for this Christmas party we're doing the 2nd that all you guys are invited to at my house. And I texted him today and I said, man, I'm having a big party at the house the 2nd and my pool lights are out. You know everybody's going to ask me who did my pool, don't you? So what can I do to get you people out here to fix it? You see what I'm saying? I mean, you can exert influence all the time. Okay? You're just pushing people, okay? Okay? That's a great question. What else? What other questions do you have? All right. Go ahead.
You were talking earlier about items, things we need to overcome. What about intimidation? You know, you were talking about fear, and all that. Just fear of intimidation.
Yeah, on your part. You fear of being intimidated? All right, so how will we overcome that? So number one reason a salesperson doesn't call out It's because they got fear of something, fear of rejection. So here's what I'm going to teach you in Monster Producer. There is no such thing as rejection. Get it off the table. They may want something different than what you have. They may want something different than what you have, but they're not rejecting you. So once I know that, now I don't have any fear. All they can do is say, I know I'm not interested, right? But that's the number one thing. Rejection is, in my opinion, a myth. Some will, some won't. So what? Just keep on going. I mean, I want you to think about the people in this class, how many times we followed up with you, for some of you, to get you in, just to get in the room. Right? What if you could teach your people to follow up like that? What if you learned to follow up like that? I mean, I want you to be relentless in your follow-up. If you have a conviction about you that you can help another person, why would you go 1 or 2 times and quit? Right? Yes?
Chris Hoyts asked, you don't like customer management software. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, Chris Hotsey, it's Dr. Hotsey's brother. Chris, what I was saying there is I do like customer relationship management systems if you're going to use them. And I coach a lot of people who have fancy CRMs, whether it be Salesforce or whatever, that don't use them. Because you got to, I mean, and I've seen, like Kristen Stayback is in Monster Producer, the cut code knife, sharpest girl around, and she traveled with me for a few days, and I watched how she used hers. She had her computer up every time she was on the phone with the prospect. She was making notes. She was telling all this stuff. That is unheard of compared to most people. Most salespeople will never do all of that. They won't take those, right? So what Bill has done, which I think is a good move, is created a form that as you're talking to a person, you're writing notes on. And the form has these key questions on it. And what we're doing is we're trying to teach them to take notes, write down things, versus sit here and do that because we're traveling a lot. And so I'm not opposed to a CRM system. All I'm saying, if you're going to spend money on it, you need to be using it, right or wrong. I've spent money on Salesforce that nobody even used, which is my fault for not making them use it. But I just want a tool. I don't care what the tool is. I just want a tool that people will use. For us, we use different Google documents. So when we make a sale, it goes into a Google document. It can be updated instantaneously. My whole team can see it. We can copy and paste emails from there very quickly. So a lot of emails I send to you, let me tell you how I send them. I go straight to our new sale list. I copy and paste those emails. I blind carbon copy them, and I shoot it right out to you. That's a whole lot faster than me logging into a CRM and finding 17 different people. See what I'm saying? Now, what I would do eventually is we'll have maybe a CRM person. That's all he or she does, is sit there and log notes from our sales team and data management. And I could see you doing that. Okay? Yep.
Diane Higgins wants to know, would top 25 be only clients or strategic partners?
All right, great question. Top 25 can be anybody that you believe is 100% sold on you and will refer you. So pop quiz. If I got a buddy that's got no influence and 2 friends, but he really loves me and I really love him, can he be in my top 25? No. So what's the definition of top 25? They must have referral capacity and they must be willing to refer. So I have friends that are just that. They're friends. But they have no business being in my top 25. My top 25 could be clients, past clients. What if I told you I have some people don't use me that still refer me a lot? They could be in my top 25. It's anybody who will feed you business. It's anybody who will feed you business. Okay? So that's the top 25 concept. Okay? All right, let me give you one more concept, and Jack, just tell me if they got anything else. Those are all great questions. What I'm go.
Chris does, he just says, can you elaborate on owning, not sure if you didn't finish, can you elaborate on owning your backyard?
Okay, what he's saying is a phrase I use a lot. I believe in dominating the backyard before you dominate the whole yard. And what I mean by that is if you live in Murfreesboro, then you need to dominate Murfreesboro first, which is my first real goal, is to dominate this whole area. And if you watch how I try to dominate Murfreesboro, I did it with ads. I wrote articles in the newspaper. I did it with ads in the bathrooms at high-end restaurants and gyms where a lot of people saw me. Be shocked how many, right? What is it?
Yard signs.
Yard signs, that's right, man, I forgot about that. We used to put out yard signs all over Rutherford County. I paid a high school girl from Middle Tennessee Christian, Michael Busey's daughter, and we put out signs all over Rutherford County that said everybody needs a coach in life. I think the city picked a bunch of them up, but whatever. You know what I did? I just made more. So my point was, every Saturday I'd say, hey, I'll pay you to go put these things all over Rutherford County. And so my point was, I wanted everywhere you go in this town, you to see my name and face. So newspaper, Facebook, bus with my picture on it, yard signs, blogs, events. I just wanted to dominate Murfreesboro. And then when I thought I dominated Murfreesboro, we always could do better. I said, well, now let's go to Middle Tennessee. Then I went to Cool Springs. Then I went to Nashville. Now I'm going to Chattanooga and Knoxville. Now we're going to Houston. Now, you see what I'm saying? Like now I'm going to Huntsville. So what I'm doing is local, regional, national, international. And we do have clients internationally today. Okay? So that's my concept. But first you need to dominate your backyard. Okay? All right, let me give you one more and then we'll get you out of here. And hopefully this is part of a selling system. Everybody understand? So when I ask you how do you get customers, here's what everybody says, referrals. I get a lot of referrals. And I'm like, well, how many referrals do you get? You don't even know, do you? You don't know where they come from. You don't know how many you get. You don't know how, right? That's a lazy person's excuse. Referrals is one strategy. You don't just need one strategy. You need multiple strategies. So what I'm showing you is all the strategies I'm using. Now, notice the other one is this one. Right here, a reason to call out. This is one of my new favorite ones. So what I'm looking for is to exchange energy with people. And I think if you exchange enough energy with people, you're going to exchange money at some point. Selling is nothing more than exchange of their money for your solution. They're willing to exchange. See, I don't know how much cash I got on me, but let's say I got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 bucks, 140 bucks on me. Now, the only reason, so this is in my pocket right now, right, Phil? The only way it's going to come to your pocket from mine is if you solve a problem for me.
You got one?
I don't know, do I? With me? Every dollar that you own today in your pocket started in the pocket of another person. Why did they exchange money to you? Because you solved a problem for them that they're willing to exchange their money for your solution. It's that simple. That's all selling is. It's an exchange. Well, my personal philosophy is this. I want to exchange so much energy with the world that eventually that exchange turns into currency, cash. And I think if I go out and give free videos, and free audios, and free database, and I give away enough, that it will attract enough people to me and through lead generation, okay? So I exchange a bunch of energy with the world, and then people say, hey, I'm interested in that. I'd like to know more, right? And every day we get new people. And so one of my favorite ones is, I don't care how I get you in the door, I just want you in the door. Let's pretend I own a retail store on the square of Murfreesboro. And I got a bunch of good stuff in there, but nobody ever comes in the door. And sometimes I go see these small businesses in Rutherford County, and I say, how many customers walked through the door today? You know what they tell me? Like 4. I'm like, 4 people walked in here today? How are you making any money? Oh, yeah, you're not making any money because you can't make any money with 4 people coming in the door, right? We need to figure out a way for you to get 104 people to walk in the door every day. So whatever we got to do to go out there and bring them in here is what we got to do. And that's how I feel about the Greatness Factory. So I create ways to get people in the door. Once I get you in the door, then I say, here's all the things we can sell you. Here's all the ways we can help you. We can help you. We can help your team, right? You can play at this level. You can play at this level. You can get this. You can go to Seaside with me. You can get on the Sprinter with me. We just rolled out a thing today. You can get on an airplane with me. Right? So I'm taking a private jet in a few weeks. I'm doing 3 stops, 3 cities in 2 days. We're taking a 7-passenger private jet. You can buy time to go with me on that if you want to. So what I do is I just create things. I don't know if somebody will take it or not. All I got to do is at least put it out there, right or wrong. We have 5 people. 3 of them reached out to me today. Hey, how much it cost me going on the plane with you? Okay? So if I got 3 spots, why not sell them? That's the way I think. Okay? The planes cost me $18,200 for the day. Okay? But I can't do it any other way than go, right? I can't get there. So I can do one speaking engagement or I can do 3. But to do 3, I got to have that private jet. Okay? So if I got 3 spots, let's take somebody with us because they could get something out of that. Everybody with me? So what I do is I create things like this. So this is an example of me creating a package, a bundle. And I want you thinking about how you create your bundles. So I wanted to speak at this conference. Why did I want to speak at this conference? Because this is the arena. There's going to be 10,000 people at this conference. This is the arena of where the conference is. Okay? So I go to Cardone and I say, how do I get on stage? You and I are buddies, but I don't want to mooch off of you. If you think I'm good enough to speak on that stage, I'd love to be on there. Here's what he tells me. I spent $4 million to secure that arena up front. Every speaker has got to find some way to help me pay that back if they want to speak. Okay? Here's what I said. If I write you a check for $100,000 and I buy 50 tickets, will that help you? And will it get me on stage? You know what he said? Yes, it will. I said, deal. I'll write you a check for $100,000. Okay, I'll turn around and bundle the tickets and sell them. I'm paying him $2,000 of every ticket. Now, a little bitty thinker comes to me and says what? What do they say, Andy?
How in the world am I going to get this sold?
Yeah, oh my God, how can we sell 50 tickets? Yeah, that's a lot of money. The next little bitty thinker says, what? Coach, you're losing money. You're losing money. Because now you're only making, see, Monster Producer by itself is $47.88. I'm giving away $2,000 of that. Everybody with me? So a little bitty thinker thinks I'm losing money. Here's what everybody said to me. Coach, you're losing money, man. You're losing money. And I'm like, I ain't losing money. This is going to get people in the door. Once they get in the door, they're going to go tell their friends. But what is it worth for me to be in front of 10,000 people? So one speaker at last year's event sold $750,000 worth of his product. And there was only 2,500 people in Miami at that event. So we're going to get the money back, right? Here's my opinion. What if we sell 50 of those, we bring in $250,000 of revenue, Cardone gets 100 of it, we steal $150,000 to the good. Everybody follow me here? That's the way my mind is thinking. So I don't think in terms of, hey, this is costing me something. I think in terms, this is investment. It's no different than buying an investment property. Okay? That's the way I got to get you thinking. Quit thinking so small. But what I did, and I learned this from him, he's like, bundle all this stuff together into a package and then make it ridiculous. Right? Which is what I kind of did. I tried to make it ridiculous. Hey, get Monster Producer for free or get that ticket for free. And look at what he's selling that ticket for. The ticket I'm selling, he's selling, here's where the seats are. He's selling for $59.95. I bought it at $2,000. So my point is, I'm trying to create reasons for my sales team to go give them ammunition to go out in the world, right? So what does that look like for my sign guys? Hey, when you come and do your business with us, you get this and this and this and this and this and this, and you can't get that anywhere else but with us. This is ridiculous, right? And make it ridiculous. Okay? I don't care what you're giving people. When I represent you on a real estate deal, I give you this, I give you this, I give you this. Notice the phrasing I'm using too. I'm not selling it to you. What am I doing? I'm giving it to you. When I'm talking about Monster Producer, you know what I say? I'm giving you an opportunity to get a network of 350 other like-minded people who all are making a lot of money. If you can't sell something to them, that's on you. I'm giving you an opportunity, right? I'm not selling it to you, giving it to you. So this is a package bundle. Now, okay, so let's say they don't take that deal. Then I put together another package. And so when Andy's going out to sell, what if a person goes, man, I can't take that $49.99 package. I just right. Andy can go, here's what I can do. I can get you a ticket at $2,500. You can take your wife with you. The wives will do something during the day if they don't want to go to the conference, right? And I can give you a ticket to 10X. I just can't give you Monster Producer. And I put together another package. Now you're saying, what if the wife wants to go, right? We've got a package for that too. What I do is just keep creating packages. Now, what we're doing tonight, let me give you one more example. So tonight, I'm having this Better Man Conference. I got 2 great speakers coming tonight. And so what do you think this gives me a chance to do with all of our Monster Producers? Call out Hey, are you coming to the Better Man Conference? Right? All I'm trying to do is just constantly come up with reasons to pull people in. Okay? And I'm trying to make them good reasons. Okay? So when I tell you, this was another reason. When I brought Matt Monero in, if you didn't see Monero, he's good, man. He's good. He's my buddy, stayed at my house. I said, hey, come to Tennessee and let's do this together. Right? And I owe you. So I'll come to Dallas and do something for you. I'll be on your show. I'll promote your book, whatever you want me to do. And what's what we do? We just trade out as friends. So you know what that gave me a reason to do? Fill up the greatness factory. Right? Now, it got you to get off the fence, didn't it? See, we're trying to sell him Monster Producer. Nothing gets him. Monero comes into town and he signs up. But see, that's the point, is that we're trying to create so much value for you that you're like, man, I can't believe I'm getting this for this amount. This is crazy. So look at all the reasons I give my sales team to call out. Okay? Next thing we're going to do, we're doing a big Christmas party at my house. We're going to be inviting you to that. Then we invite you to Monster Producer. And then we invite your team to Monster Teams. And then we say, hey, let's just all be in fellowship with each other. So when I'm talking about this one right here, do you see how that stimulates economy? Okay? That stimulates your economy because I'm trying to just push, exert out. This is better than me sitting here at the Greatness Factory hoping that somebody calls in. Boy, I sure do hope we get a lead today. Sure do hope somebody happens. Here's what I'm saying. We're going to create to me, a lead is created opportunity. It's not entitled. It's not I handed you something. You went out and created value, and people are willing to exchange money for that value. All of your dreams are paid for by your clients. You do get that, don't you? Your clients pay for your dreams because you created enough value for them, they exchange their money. So if you want your own private jet, go out and get more clients, and they'll pay for it. Okay? That's the way you need to be thinking. Okay? Now, is there any questions about the 90-day burn, about what I'm talking about here? This is a lot of stuff. 90% of people will look at that and go, sounds good. I ain't doing it. It takes work. It takes work. So pick 25% of it and do it. Pick 30%. I don't care. How bad do you want to stimulate your own economy? Okay? So if you say from 9 to 11 every day, I'm working a 90-day burn. It's like getting in shape for your business. It's like you're lifting for your business, right? And I guarantee you, your sales will pick up if you do this much activity. There's no way it can't pick up, okay? If you can give me an hour or 2 hours a day, then I'm telling you it'll work, okay? Any questions? Any more questions from our online members? What's an example of a real estate agent? What's an example of an attorney using the reason to call out?
I often do it to just give them an update on their case.
Okay.
With current clients.
Okay.
Even if there's no movement, I'll say I hadn't forgot about you. I just want you to know I'm still working on it.
That's right. So updates is a good one. What if you call on new people? What would be a reason to call out?
Well, all right. Well, soliciting obviously would get us in trouble.
Yeah.
But I can two things I can think of. One would be my top 25.
Yes.
Like Brett Cardone said before, when you go to lunch, make it almost a business. It's not downtime. It's time to work.
That's right.
And the other would be, if you got a good result in the case and you're getting ready to terminate that relationship, who else can I help?
Right. That's exactly right.
These are the kind of areas we work in. Let us know if we can help somebody.
When I go into a city, I never just take one meeting. Never. It'd be nice just goof off, do nothing, lay in the hotel room, do my one thing I got to do. When I went into Denver, I put out there on Facebook, I'm in Denver. Who wants to meet with me? And current monsters were introducing me to other people in Denver. Hey, meet. So we took meetings the whole time we were in Denver. We picked up clients. Complete strangers that we've never met before, by the way, right? Because we just took that business trip and said, look, we there's a time for us, my wife and I, to go to dinner and socialize. But I said, look, on Monday, I'm taking business meetings. Okay? So we're just meeting strangers to see if there's some, relationship here. So just think of a reason to call out on people. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about the 90-day burn? You will be learning more in Monster about the selling system. Hit list, farm club, top 25, explanational service. We have an explanational services coach. She comes into town in November. She lives in another state. And what she'll do is bring you all together, walk you through this 6-step formula, and then help you craft your explanational services. Okay? Okay? All right, guys. Thank you for coming tonight. If you're sticking around, stick around for the Better Man Conference. That's starting in about 40 minutes, okay?